got some new kits that I got up on the website. Have y'all been to my store? shopblat.com. I decided I wanted to do, just add some different kits so you guys don't have to keep looking at the same stuff over and over and over and over. So I'm out here tying up for the tournament. It starts tomorrow. And as I've always told y'all before, the stuff that I have at shopblat.com, this is not just random tackle that I decided that I want to just try to make money off of. The entire store is based off of questions I get on YouTube comments, DMs, inbox questions that you guys ask me when you see me at weigh-ins and so forth about tackle, the stuff that I use. So the only thing that you see at shopblat.com is stuff that you find in my tackle locker or in the back of my truck, because I can't carry it all in my tackle lockers, obviously. So got 3 new kits that I want to talk about. Actually, we're just going to talk about one of them, but I have 3 segments of this one kit that you guys can buy and can use it for a bunch of different purposes. Even though it's only one kit, there's probably 6 different ways you could purpose these baits. So I'll break them down to you. I'm gonna show them to you. Y'all want to see them? I'm gonna break them down to you. Let's bring the Plano box down here somewhere it's a little more comfortable. Let's come down here. Here we go. Let's look into it. Now this is, as I said, this is basically 3 kits, but it's still one bait. And last year at Zman we came up with this new bait that really can be like a standalone flip bait. It could be a trailer for a chatterbait, for a spinnerbait, for a jig, for a swim jig, for a flipping jig. It's a soft plastic called the Goat. I'll show you one here. Sort of like I guess you would call it a creature bait. Here it is right here. I'm gonna tear the little pieces apart. And they come in 3 different sizes. So this is just the normal Goat. This particular Goat is 3 3/4 inches long. The Billy Goat is 4 1/4 inches long, and then you got the Baby Goat. The Baby Goat is probably 3 inches. Ha, I'm so smart. 3 inches. So there's your regular Goat. The Baby Goat is this little guy right here. Use that for like little finesse jigs. Probably use it as a standalone, or even like on a Ned rig head probably too. Then you got the Mac Daddy, the Billy Goat right here. So I've got a kit on the website where you guys can get these baits. Fun thing about this bait is so many ways to use it. Like, I don't know if you guys watched the video of Glenn Young and I when we waded on the river. Glenn Young caught the 7-pounder on this bait here, the pearl white one that I got, that one right there. That's what he caught that fish on, using it as a top water. So that's not even what we had in mind when we created it. Obviously, as you can see how this guy works, is pretty much almost like a stick bait body, and then we got these little pokey tails on here that kick, and you can rig it horizontal like this, and they'll just kick behind your jig, trailer, spinnerbait, whatever. Or you can also rig it vertically like that, and put it behind a swim jig, and just reel it, and it looks just like a little fin. It looks just like a little brim fishing, swimming in the water. It looks like a little panfish, crappie, whatever the case may be. So it comes in 3 sizes: Baby Goat, the regular Goat, the Billy Goat. Right? So many ways to use this guy. What we had in mind, what we wanted, we don't really have a lot of baits to flip, and that's something that we wanted to expand on with the soft plastic line for bass fishing tackle. Is baits that we could actually just tie on a flip to a lay down, flip to a dock piling, flip at lily pads, flipping grass. We wanted more. We had the palmetto bugs, which is great. Obviously, I like the palmetto bugs because I won my first tour event on the palmetto bugs, right? So this one's a little bit, it's a little bit noisy. It's a little fancier. You got some action on the tails. They kick. It's a little bit more versatile bait. How can you use this guy? This is why I made this kit. It's super important. Baits like this are important for me because you can use it so many different ways. Jig trailers, right? So I can take, I'm in Florida fishing now, right? Typically we would use a trailer like that, which is supposed to be sort of like a pork chunk trailer, something like old school. It's supposed to be like the old pork trailers. You can take this 3/4 ounce jig that you use to flip reeds with, and now you've got the perfect jig trailer, right? That's one purpose for it, which is pretty obvious when you look at it. Rig him up like that, And obviously those little tails are going to flutter down when you flip it at some reeds or flip it at a bed. That's one purpose of it. You can take that same plastic, use it as standalone flip bait on a Texas rig. Just straight up 3/0 hook. With this, with the regular goat, I'd probably use a 3/0 flipping hook. Use anywhere from a 1/8 ounce to a 1 ounce sinker, and get at it. Flip it at laydowns, flip it at reeds, flip it at dock corners, flip it at whatever you can flip it at. Cast it if you want to. Just a straight up Texas rig, the most simple way of bass fishing ever. Obviously, we like to throw swim jigs, just jig trailers, right? You can use it. Same thing. Now I've got a turbo crawls on the back of there. Everybody's familiar with that. That's also another really good jig trailer. I probably would cut this down. I like the profile and the pretty much the pulse or feedback I get back from the goat the most. Sometimes I'll take the goat and cut it down to the length that I have on the baby goat. So preferably on a swim jig, I would probably cut this guy down a little bit, because the swim jig I use has a little bit smaller hook than the other ones. But I would cut it down a little bit shorter. But just for demonstration purposes, I'll show you what I'll do here. Take that guy, perfect swim jig trailer, right? Throw him out there. You can rig it this way where it's flapping that way. I can take the same bait. Check this out. I'm reusing the same plastic. That's what I love about Elastic. I can rig it vertically, and you got more of a, you can let it kick this way too. That's another way to rig it on your swim jig, just like that. Swim jig trailer. All right, so where are we at? We're at Texas rig, jig trailer, swim jig trailer. 3 purposes on one bait. Then I can take spinnerbait. You can also find the spinnerbait on shopblat.com too. I have a spinnerbait kit with my favorite color spinnerbaits that you want to use. You can take your spinnerbait, right? For this one, I would probably use, I would probably go with the baby goat, or not the baby goat, but just the regular goat. But take the pearl color that you got, and then you can use the same bait for a spinnerbait trailer. Now, what I like to do, the only time that I really throw, I don't throw spinnerbait trailers often, but when I do use a spinnerbait trailer, what I like to do is pretty much use them when I'm fishing in very off-colored water, and I need to bulk my bait up, make the presence of it bigger. That's when I go to using a trailer on the back of my spinnerbait. And you can rig it both ways. You can rig it horizontally or vertically, whichever you feel like you like the action on it best. And now you've added some bulk, some size to your spinnerbait, so you can get the attention of your fish a lot better when you use it as a spinnerbait trailer. All right, so that's one function. So now we're up to 4: spinnerbait, swim jig, Texas rig, and a flipping jig. I got another one. I got a 5th one for you. I bet you already know what's coming next. It has a skirt on it too. Chatterbait. Gotta have it for the chatterbait. Chatter hoo-hoo. That's what we call it. Like that day, Cal's laugh. I call it the chatter hoo-hoo. I don't know if that's legal for me to do that. Z-Man might not appreciate me renaming the name of the chatterbait to the chatter hoo-hoo. Actually, Mark Daniels is the one that taught me how to say chatter hoo-hoo. He said it and I haven't forgot it. Take your chatterbait, take your baby goat or your billy goat, just depending on how high you want to keep it in the water column, right? You want to keep that bait up high, you're fishing over extremely shallow grass, use the billy goat. It's got more plastic. Z-Man Elastic float, so it's just going to make the bait super buoyant, so you could reel it slow, keep it up high. You need to get it down a little bit further. Use the regular goat, use the baby goat. Smaller plastic, less resistance in the water, less buoyancy, you'll be able to get the bait down a little bit further. Just like rigging it on the spinnerbait, but let's just kind of dive into this a little bit more. Rigging with elastic can be kind of be a little bit of a struggle sometimes, because the plastic's super it's a little spongy, right? It's very forgiving. It'll let you rig it several times. You can use one plastic for a very long time. Only thing, as long as you keep it away from other plastics and you keep it out of the sun, the plastics last forever. When you're rigging it on there, to get it rigged straight, if you don't get it on there straight the first time, don't fall out. All you got to do is this: just take it off and rig it again. You rig it on there. There's a little cavity in all our plastics too. If you'll feel for it as you're putting it up on the hook. Just always feel for that little cavity in there. It'll help you rig it on there straighter. But anytime you've got a barb, you can see my barb right there, right? What you want to do when you're trying to get it on there and to get it to stay all day, push it up as far as you can on the barb. And when you want to get it up and over, you want to get that piece of plastic up and over the barb. So what you want to do is grab it just like you would like a little bad 2-year-old that's cutting up. Grab them up behind the shirt, pull it up behind it, up and over the barb. So what I'll do is I'll take the plastic. It's a lot easier when you got a barb over the back or a keeper over the back. Pull it up and over. Dude, it ain't coming down. Once you get it up there, it does not come down. So just practice that in your spare time. Make sure, just like I said, just like you grab a 2-year-old that's cutting up, grab it behind the collar, pull it out, up, and push it up on top of the keeper, and then it'll never come down. So got a chatterbait trailer there. I think that was 5 or 6 uses. Chatterbait, flipping jig, spinnerbait, Texas rig. Don't forget a top water. So that's 6 uses for one bait. So if you guys get one kit, you basically got six baits. You can take this, put it on a little small light-weighted kill weight, like a 16th ounce kill weight hook, throw it out and just reel it across the surface, and it'll buzz back across the top, and you've got a top water too. You got like a buzz frog style bait. So you can use it when fish are spawning in the holes of hydrilla, fish are spawning around lily pads, and you want to bring that through on the top of the surface. You can use this bait and catch you a lot of fish. Check it out at shopblat, you know how to finish it, .com, shopblat.com. Check the link in the description box of this video. You'll be able to get all of these baits and a bunch of other new kits that we brought on the site for this year. But in particular, if you're looking for a bait that you can use for a bunch of different purposes, check out the Zman goat, billy goat, and the itty bitty little baby goat.